Are you in the market for top-notch digital equipment such as mills, scanners, or furnaces?
Well, God, time is now. Ivoclar has introduced unbeatable rates exclusively for customers in North America.
Ivoclar has made it easy for you to invest in cutting-edge digital equipment with, ready for this, lower than prime interest rates.
I think that's no pun intended, but whether you're looking to upgrade your milling capabilities, enhance your scanning technology, or optimize your furnace performance, Ivoclar Digital has you covered.
To take advantage of this offer, the dedicated digital specialists at Ivoclar are ready to assist you. For details on how to get in touch, visit voicesfromthebench.com and select the Ivoclar tab to find all the information you need to get started. And as always, we appreciate your sponsorship of the podcast, Ivoclar. Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Greetings and welcome to episode 293 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
And my name's Barbara. You know, you have the morning voice this morning. Just saying.
Do I?
You sound a little raspy. Yep.
Yeah. It's those late nights where I get crazy and stay up past 10.
It's our second week in a row recording on a Saturday morning, and it's your turn to sound like you're tired.
Let's go back to our old way. I don't like doing this early morning recordings anymore.
Well, you've been working on a Friday. Well, you've actually been working, number one, and number two on Friday. So we haven't been able to.
Yeah, I sit around all week and do everything on a Friday.
Yep.
So what's going on, Barb? How are you?
I'm all right. My dad's in the hospital.
Oh, no.
I've been spending a lot of time there trying to take care of him. Yeah, he's got some issues going on. But other than that, it's early Saturday morning. I'm going to go hiking today with my boyfriend and grill some steaks for dinner. Well, hiking in Florida, you know, it's kind of like, straight.
It's like hiking in Indiana.
Yeah.
With better weather and an ocean.
Yeah, better weather for us is going to be like 60 this morning, so we get out and go.
Oh, I hate you so much. We had our first frost that whole morning, wake up and your car's covered in ice.
But doesn't that make the leaves change?
Oh, the leaves are changed and my yard got 6 inches of leaves on the ground. So
we know what you're doing today.
Oh, or you know what I'm doing for the next 3 months. I hate it.
Yep.
It's just that time of the year where running becomes harder, getting up and getting out's getting harder, and
yeah,
it happens every year. But yet, here I am complaining about it, just like last year.
I cannot believe it's November. Like, it is just, life is flying by. I say it every year, but it's so just crazy.
I know. It just seems like last month we were in Chicago.
Exactly. So what's happening this week?
So the third and final dental showdown is this Thursday on November 9th at 7 p.m. So for those that have seen the last two, this has been really a great live webinar to be a part of. So Dr. David Rice and Dr. Sashi from Ivoclar, we get on there and we discuss the complications with the lab and the clinical relationship.
And there are a few.
Just a handful. I remember when they first approached me with this, I was so nervous doing a live with video.
Right.
Because, I like hiding behind audio only, highly edited.
Yep.
But I have really, really enjoyed it. It's been some great conversations. I'm actually looking forward to the third and final one. And I'm a little sorry to see it end.
Well, good for you. I'm happy for you. I love it. I think it's great.
The nice thing is they were all recorded. So if you didn't see the first two, please head over to voicesfromthebench.com/Ivoclar and check out a link to watch the last two webinars that, of course, are no longer live because they posted them on the Ivoclar Academy, which I don't think I've ever been associated with an academy. Seems a little high education for me. And also, I put a link up there to register for the final one this Thursday, and hopefully you will check it out and participate and ask questions. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's been a lot of fun.
And he's a good guy, too. I enjoy his personality. He's really sharp, and I like everything David's doing. So
yeah, he's had some good points.
I follow him on social media, and he's pretty awesome.
He's doing like a video every 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So this week, we're once again back to the event called the DTG Symposium. Back in September, we had the extreme pleasure of setting up our booth at the GC America facility, where we got to talk to some amazing people.
All weekend long.
All weekend.
So good.
Many of these amazing technicians that were there came from all over the world, traveled thousands of miles to go to...
Literally.
Allsip, Illinois. If you've ever been to Allsip, I think the coolest thing there is the GC America facility.
I would agree. Yep.
So this episode features 3 conversations covering a lot of topics from 3 different countries. But the first one is a little close to home. Well, actually it came from the building that we're in.
Yeah, we had to hunt him down too. Couldn't find him.
He's a busy dude. Dan Boskocevic is a senior marketing manager on the lab side for GC America. And obviously he does so much more. Dan talks about his history, the role at GC, his history with Vaughn in the DTG group.
Yeah, he really did set that up. I mean, we got to give props to him for that.
For sure. Trends that he has seen in the dental industry, and a very interesting story on what GC might have been. And let's just say it could have been a sandwich condiment.
Way to give a little teaser there, Elvis.
And then we meet the phenomenal technician all the way from Latvia, Kostia
Vyshamirski.
Kostia Vyshamirski.
Good job.
Kostia talks about growing up in a lab, but not wanting to be a technician, but of course eventually falling for its greatness, finding DTG 10 years ago.
And he only looks like he's 20, for crying out loud.
If that. And still enjoying analog with so much digital around him. And then we meet father and son who came all the way from New Zealand, David and Michael DeWett.
And Michael's got some serious fashion going on.
David talks about learning about the craft in the military, but learning how to do it in South Africa before moving to New Zealand and turning a 2-person lab into a 26-person lab.
Nice.
His son Michael talks about growing up in a lab, using 3-shape casting and other tools to make jewelry. So join us as we chat with Dan, Kostia, and David and Michael. I'm skipping last names.
Good for you.
Whether you're looking to elevate your craftsmanship or looking to cut back on cost, look no further.
VITA MFT teeth are the ultimate solution for creating lifelike and stunning smiles.
Crafted with precision and backed by cutting-edge technology, VITA MFT teeth offer unparalleled aesthetics and durability.
And since VITA believes in the power of experiencing excellence firsthand, for a limited time only, they are offering you the chance to get a complimentary case sample.
That's right, a full case absolutely free. Just visit vitanorthamerica.com/free MFT.
Don't wait any longer to start providing your customers a premium tooth at an economy price. Redeem your free case sample, and if you're ready to buy, VITA will even give you an extra 10% off discount by shopping online on their newly launched online store.
Join the VITA family today, and we appreciate your support of the podcast. GC Initial Lisi Press is the first lithium to silicate ceramic ingot with high density, big word coming up, micronization, or for short HDM,
which is a technology unique to GC that provides exceptional physical properties and the most natural lifelike aesthetics.
HDM uses equally dispersed lithium to silicate microcrystals to fill the entire glass matrix rather than using traditional larger size crystals that do not take advantage of the matrix structure.
The result is the ultimate combination of strength and aesthetics, making GC Initial Lisi Press perfectly suitable for all types of restorations through all levels of transparency.
Most importantly, HDM technology helps ensure the product remains extremely stable without distortion or drop in value, even after multiple firings. Because if you got the shade right the first time, you wouldn't have to fire it again.
And so for more information, call GC America at 800-323-0763 or visit gcamerica.com.
And we always appreciate your support of the podcast, GC America. Voices from the Bench. The interview. So here we are at the DTG Symposium 2023 in a beautiful facility by GC America. We're actually joined by the VP of Dental Lab.
No, I'm actually the senior marketing manager for the lab business, but I also handle more than just marketing. I also handle the key opinion leaders because lab is a smaller group in GC. The operatory side or the dental side of the business is much, much larger.
Oh, yeah.
So I wear multiple hats, plus the relationships that I've built with some of these people. Yeah. So I kind of handle the key opinion leaders, a lot of the social media, and the marketing at GC. We also have a sales team specifically for lab.
So your name's Dan, but what's your last name? You better pronounce it because he can't.
Dan Boskocevic.
All right,
That's the English way of pronouncing it.
Boskocevic.
You don't want to hear the Serbian pronunciation.
Okay, this is kind of off cuff here, but we're sitting in the sales department room off to the side.
Well, this area where I guided you towards was to get away from the crowd.
Absolutely.
Right? And
yep.
it's we have everything from customer service to sales admin to marketing. The executives are on this side over here on the
And you seriously have an employee named Joe McCool?
Yeah, Joe McCool.
Are you reading that?
Yeah.
He's reading that. That's funny.
Joe McCool is the director of HR.
Oh, my God, really? How perfect.
What a great name.
Right?
This facility is unbelievable. Awesome. How new is this building?
They opened yesterday.
No.
I want to say maybe 3 years now. We opened right before COVID.
Okay.
So,
well, good timing on your part, huh?
Props to the cleaning crew.
Oh, great. Yeah.
This place is spotless.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised how well everything turned out. I was worried.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a big, we have probably 150 people, in total, right? And it's a lot of work to make sure everything goes well without a hitch, and so we're trying our best. Hopefully everyone's satisfied. So
no, it's beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely.
You're a technician, aren't you?
Yeah,
or you were, or you are, or
yeah. I actually, so my parents were both technicians, and I grew up in the dental lab.
Lab rat.
Yeah. And my
here in Chicago.
No, this was in Cleveland. Actually, funny story. So GC actually purchased a company named Co. And we actually have a product called Co-Cal. And Cal, Certified Acres Laboratories, they were all we did the publication. Prior to GC buying it, we did there was actually a Cal Lab magazine that used to come out. And that was
I'm on the Cal Lab board.
I know you are.
Oh, that's where you were connecting it. I was feeling you.
Yeah. And so they bought Cal and Nevin. I don't know if you guys remember Nevin.
I remember Nevin.
I remember Nevin.
So
wow.
Back in the 80s, my dad, it's a funny story. My dad purchased Nevin benches, and what happened was his lab burned down. And the only thing that survived were those benches because at that time the tops were asbestos and they had steel cabinetry. Actually, the benches in this lab over here that you see, those are all from Nevin. So we tried
beautiful lab over there.
Yeah.
Your dad's lab burned down?
It burned down in the 80s. Actually, it was in LMT. They actually showed the picture of the fire and everything in LMT. Yeah,
I know what caused it.
No idea.
No idea.
Yeah. We had a lot of weird things happen at that lab. We had people jump in the scary part is that time we lived upstairs on the second floor
of the lab.
Oh
wow!
And there was people jumping the fence because at that time everything was metal.
Gold.
There was people trying to steal
Oh, I bet.
Some worker
Wow.
told his friend or something, and they're trying to come and steal gold from the house. So it was scary. It was scary times. Yeah, exactly.
So you were a lab rat. So then you went to work in the lab at one point. Obviously, you're not there now, but
Yeah.
so give us that story.
So what happened was, originally I was very artistic my whole life.
Yeah.
Right. And I actually ended up I got a scholarship to go to art school. Complete free ride.
Really?
I was actually going to go to Ringling. I lived in Florida at the time, and I was going to go to Ringling.
I know where that is.
Yeah, in Sarasota.
Mm-hmm.
And they, I was going to go there, but the cost was so expensive I couldn't afford it. And I ended up going to at the time it was called International Fine Arts College in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up going. Now it's Miami Art Institute or something. They changed
Miami
it.
was
That's
less
crazy.
expensive than Sarasota?
Yeah, because Ringling is a
Sarasota.
Sarasota.
So
Anyway.
yeah, well they gave me I had a certain amount of scholarship,
Yeah.
and my scholarship it covered Miami completely.
Oh, I see. It wasn't for the
So it was
school
mo-
specific.
yeah, it was total money.
It was total money.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And Ringling was extremely expensive because it's the clown college, like Ringling, Barnum, and Bailey.
I thought I
literally.
misheard you.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's true, yeah.
Ringling.
But not only was it a clown college, but they also had like an art school there, And so that was just too expensive for me. I
Sure.
wasn't getting
Yep.
money from my parents or anything like that. I had to do it on my own. So I went to school, and at that time, this was in the early 90s. Well, actually, I should say mid 90s. It was around 95 when I went there. And what happened was they were just integrating computers, right? And when I left, I got married young, my first time around. Got married young, and I needed work. I ended up trying to look for a job, and everybody was telling me, Dan, your art is beautiful, but you need computer knowledge. I had really no
what kind of
computer
art
knowledge.
did you do?
I wanted to be a graphic designer, but everything I did was manual at that time. It was like manual paste stubs, with the Mylar sheets on top of each other.
Yeah.
The old way of doing things, right? And so they were like, you got to go back and learn. And I couldn't because I just got married. I need to make money. So I was like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to go back to college. So I thought to myself, you know what? I gotta do something. So I said, I know lab. My dad was a
No-brainer.
lab. Yeah, exactly. So I grew up doing this, and this is kind of crazy. I ended up moving from Florida to Cleveland. Okay, back to Cleveland,
back
where I
to
was
Cleveland,
from.
yeah.
And I worked for Road Dental Lab for BJ Kowalski.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I worked for his
Wow.
dad.
I was going to say, back then.
yeah,
it was
back
bad.
then it was his
Yeah,
dad.
it was his dad that hired me, and
How come you didn't go back to your dad?
because he was semi-retired at that time, so he was kind of phasing out, right? So
yeah.
he at that time it was like he was kind of getting rid of everything, phasing out. He had he had like bad diabetes, so his hands would shake and all this stuff, and so he's like, I'll try to help you if you need anything, but you got to go find something else.
Yeah.
So at that time, Roe took me in, and I worked there for a few years, and then my ex-wife wanted to go back to Chicago, where she's from. And we went to Chicago, and I worked for Albert Tassi in Chicago. Albert Tassi is actually good I told you, was good friends with Jeff Strong.
Yep.
And worked there for a few years. And then this company called Bisco, they're here in Schaumburg, Illinois.
Okay.
They approached me with a product called Tessera. It was their first lab product, because they're exclusively a dental company. And it was their first lab product, and that they wanted to launch. And they said, look, we'll teach you how to do. Because I had a little background in, when with my school, I was doing some graphic design stuff, and I learned advertising, and I learned some stuff. Wasn't trained specifically on marketing, right? But Bisco said, "Look,
goes together,
it kind of goes together." They said, "Look, we'll train you. We'll get you involved in marketing. We'll teach you how to do this, and we'll guide you. We want you for your lab knowledge."
Yeah.
Because at that time I was I don't want to sound like but I was getting pretty good at the lab work because of my art, the art
man.
background.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so
Be proud of what you're doing.
yeah, so
Bisco sounds like a food company.
well, you're thinking Nabisco.
Maybe that's where it's going from.
Exactly, yeah. So Bisco's it's a Korean. Actually, it's not Korean. The owner's Korean.
Yeah.
Right? And so yeah, they hired me, and I was excelling pretty quick, and I brought the lab knowledge with me. And one of the guys that I with my boss at that time, he left, and he came to GC, and he was calling me. And at that time, it was weird because I moved all the way like on the border of Wisconsin, and it's like in Illinois, but very far up north.
Sure, yeah.
And this is very far south in Chicago.
Yeah.
We're close to Indiana.
Yeah.
You know? So
You would know that,
Yes.
though, wouldn't you? Because that's where you live.
Made it easy for the drive.
Yeah. So I worked with him, and one day he called me. He's like, Dan, we really need a product manager at GC for lab. We need somebody that understands lab. And I was fighting. I'm like, no, I'll help you out. I'll be like a key opinion leader. I'll do demos, whatever, you know. And I did that for a while with him because I was way too far. So from there, it was like an hour and a half down here, you know.
Of traffic.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just traffic. It's just far, you know.
Yeah.
And he kept talking to me. He's like, Dan, we need you. I'm like, okay, finally I gave in. This was, 18 years ago now. I've been here ever since. Yeah.
Damn.
So you came in as a product manager.
As a product manager and kind of evolved and now I'm a senior marketing manager of lab for GC. But again, like I told you before, lab is a smaller business, so I kind of wear multiple hats. Mm-hmm. We do have a sales group. We have sales reps for lab specifically,
Sure.
but at the end of the day, we have to kind of all pitch in to make it work.
Who's the sales guy around here? What's his name?
In this territory?
Yeah.
Fred Hiller.
Fred. I know Fred.
Yeah,
Fred's
yeah.
a great guy.
He's a good guy, yeah.
I just couldn't remember his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you probably have front and center on what it's like to put this type of show together, symposium, I should say.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot of work. I'm assuming you and Vaughn are super tight, but what is it?
Yeah, it's
how long does it take to put a show like this together? And
oh man, it took a long time. See, the thing is that Vaughn, when I first met Vaughn, it was when he started the group, and I saw something special, right? I mean, I know there was a lot of hiccups and things as he started to build this group, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I think his heart was in the right place. He tried to do the best he could, to put a community together. And he did it on, he was like, how can I, from what I know of Vaughn, he tried to put this, he was like, how can I make something to where people can all get together that aren't, let's say, oral design, that aren't like the elite of the elite, just like, of course, DTG has some members that are like very high-end.
There's some talent in this
very
building
high-end
right now.
But he also wanted to make it accessible because some of those groups, some of the groups out there, they're so elite that they're not accessible to the average technician, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or a technician that wants to grow, So I think what his idea, it's funny, when I first met him, I grew up skateboarding. All right, that's why you guys saw Frankie Hill here from
That's kind of cool. All these people walking around with skateboards that they won, or boards that they won.
Yeah, so Frankie Hill was a skateboarder for a group called team called Powell Peralta, and Tony Hawk skated for the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know Tony Hawk.
Yeah, of course.
Personally?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I watched some documentaries, and when they started that team, they didn't want to say skateboarding team, or they didn't want to. They wanted something different, so they called themselves the Bones Brigade, right?
Yep.
I knew Vaughn grew up skating. I said, Vaughn, this is so cool. We should work together and help. Try to develop like a team. And of course, DTG is independent of GC.
Sure.
There's members that use all kinds of projects from all different manufacturers, like Ivoclar and every other, and that's fine. And he wants to keep it that way. But we want to help support this philosophy and this mission for labs to try to help grow this industry. Mm-hmm. And so I said, Vaughn, we should create something like the Bones Brigade, right? Something really cool for technicians to get together and learn from each other and try to,
Is that where the skull came from?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I think the skull thing he created.
It was for a T-shirt brand.
It's really
it was a
cool.
Yeah, I think it was something
he told
early
the story on the podcast, but he was on 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But
I think
it's like started as a T-shirt brand or something. Yeah,
correct. The two are different, from what I understand. DTG is the Dental Technicians Guild, but the damaged goods is something he created a while back, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of like the whole thing. The maybe it's a connection to motorcycles, skateboarding, like just cool stuff, and I like what he did with it. He kind of tied the two together, and people seem to dig it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So GC has always been a part of the DTG.
So yeah, I mean, I guess you could say since DTG started, so in the beginning, I remember one time Thomas Singh, oral design member, he was doing a demo years and years ago at one of the lab day shows, and Josh Polanski were lecturing, and they put a video together. In the beginning, I was so shocked. It says, "Thanks, Dan Boskocevic," and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And I saw this video that they created this whole video, and I saw this logo, the skull logo, on someone's furnace. Their porcelain oven.
Yeah.
And I asked Josh, I said, what is that? He's like, oh, it's this new group that's coming out, And he was like, yeah, it's called Damaged Goods or DTG or something. He didn't even really know much about it, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what sparked the interest. I was like, wow, this is kind of cool because, and let's be honest, in dentistry, you don't have cool things. I mean, it's kind of, it's
not
all
really a cool group.
It's not. I mean, it's not. I mean, and this kind of brings this whole concept. I think is something that brings everyday people and tries to get like all techs out there motivated. And it gets them to feel like they're part of something. Yeah.
Coming from a ceramist, coming here for the podcast, but being able to watch every lecture and see everybody interact and the photographs, and it's just like I feel like I'm high, completely high on life.
It's like so a true family feel, right?
Yeah, it is.
What I like is everyone's a friend.
Yeah.
And you got people up on stage there that's showing work that, like, in no way am I ever going to be able to reproduce that.
Yeah.
But they're accessible here this weekend. They're here hanging out. You can talk to them. And there's no ego, I guess.
Right.
You know?
And everybody's hugging each other, and they all like each other, and they're just giving each other props, and it's just freaking amazing. Yeah. I love it.
And that's why I think it's like almost like we all have similar stories, right? Everybody has their own story, but we all have similar probably background stories that we can relate to. We're all kind of connected through this profession,
Teeth.
Yeah. And it's weird, right?
Yeah. It's so weird if you talk to anyone that's not in the business.
Yeah.
So when you started 18 years ago, when you came into product manage, what was the big products back then?
Here at GC?
Yeah.
So, they just launched Initial at that time.
Oh, wow.
Really?
The whole porcelain line, yeah.
Were they in lab before they brought you in?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They were. GC was in lab. They had Nature Krill, which is acrylics. They had other old lab products. They even had products from Co. from talking about 30 something years ago. Maybe more even. So they had. They had a lot of lab products, but
Initial, I think, exploded the company and the name pretty much. That was put them on the map, if you will.
Yeah. So it was something that I tried really hard to work with, to try to figure out how can we make this, successful. And I think my philosophy is, you got a lot of times you got these corporate guys that come in and they're like, yo, we got to do this, we got to do,
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, lab techs are different.
Oh, yeah.
We got to be like, we got to show that we're passionate, that we care, that we establish relationships, And I think that doing that, it will come. You know how the Field of Dreams, right? If you build it, they will come, right? And I kind of take that philosophy. When you establish these relationships, people are going to remember, And that's what life is about. It's about people. It's about all of us, together,
And that's every single speaker that's been on stage this weekend is talking about life and family balance.
Yeah.
Connecting the two, not living at the bench, figuring out how to manage your time. And, because I think a lot of us technicians, we're a little crazy. And, we get super passionate and super involved, and we tend to forget about the reality of the fact that we're doing this to provide for a family or to have balance. And every single speaker has mentioned that, and so I echo what you're saying. 'Cause you just said the same damn thing.
Yeah.
It's true, though.
But we all feel the same, and at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? We do this because we have to live and we want to be happy with what we do. So all of us as a part of this community, whether it's a manufacturer, whether it's a dentist, dental technician, whether it's voices from the bench, right? You're trying to do this for what reason? Is to bring people together, right?
Just bring people to the spotlight that might not get a chance.
100%. Yeah.
So what's GC working on right now? What's the big lab stuff? You're the man.
Secrets.
Come on, give us the juice.
Yeah, that I can't talk about.
Not until February, right?
Yeah, right. All these companies are always working on the next thing,
Yeah.
And I mean, every one of them is trying, at the end of the day, they're all trying to create something better, and something new, something different. I think the advancements that we're seeing in dental technology and dentistry, I'm seeing trends that are different than what I'm used to. When I grew up, everything was analog. Now, analog is maybe 10% of the business.
True.
If that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that we have to adapt. All of us, we have to adapt with the times and figure out how it's going. I mean, it could be very soon where AI is, you don't have to even you had waxers, and those waxers turn into designers. And I think with AI, you might not even have, you know what I'm saying?
Pretty crazy.
This is how fast it's evolving, But I don't think there will ever be a time where dental technicians aren't used or needed. I'm seeing a very big shift where more and more dentists are actually trying to hire technicians because they want to do all on X cases. They want to do immediate load. They want to do, So yeah, I'm seeing it a lot where it's like it's almost going like the European model, where they work hand in hand, So yeah, it's changing.
And I don't really think that's a bad thing.
No.
I think that's a great career for a dental technician to fall under a good dentist to give you good work.
Listen, what dentist wants to sit there and characterize an all-on X case?
Yeah.
They don't have time.
They
time
would
is
be
money.
dumb to do that.
Yeah. Their chair time is they got to
Get butts and seats, man.
100%.
Yeah.
So they need to have people, and the problem is with assistants. I mean, a lot of assistants are actually turning into quasi dental technicians.
Sure.
Now,
Yeah.
So
Sarek started that.
100%. Yeah.
So your warehouse, back to this building. So is this the warehouse for like the United States, like the country, or do you have other areas here?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff in that warehouse. It's pretty sweet.
I think I saw the arc.
That's you guys have only seen a quarter of this building.
Oh.
This building takes up like two
It's
city
got
blocks.
product
right?
all the way
we
down.
manufacture down there. But unfortunately, I would love to give you guys a tour. I can't now because there's just too many people, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wow.
they manufacture everything from like MI paste, which is like vitamins for your teeth. They have, it has Recalden in it, so it's got like it's designed to like help remineralize teeth.
Oh,
So
really?
it's clinical.
Yeah.
You guys
Clinical.
do clinical too?
90% of our business is clinical.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
What's your big clinical business? I'm
Everything. Fuji. Any Fuji product is our
So,
product. Yeah.
Fuji Bond?
Glass
Bond.
ionomers. Glass ionomers are our biggest
I didn't
product.
know Fuji
Oh.
was.
Yes, that's
damn.
GC. Yeah. That's us.
So
I
you're
hear the
big
name
in
a lot. I mean,
clinical.
Yeah.
If you think about globally, GC is probably one of the largest dental companies globally. Yeah. People don't know that because on the lab side, it's kind of small, right? But
yeah, we just don't realize
the dental
it.
side. I mean, I went to Japan a couple times, and the funny thing is, if I mention GC, where's GC, and they'll point out the building to me.
Just
Where
like
it is. Yeah, because it's
regular
like
citizens.
Colgate over there in Japan. Seriously, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where is the main
Oh, there's
GC?
So, it's kind of complicating. So, GC is we have R&D centers all over. I mean, we have a factory, like an R&D center in Fujiwara factory in by Mount Fuji. Tokyo, we have different, sales, marketing, R&D, all this. So we manufacture here. They manufacture, and we share products, right?
Sure.
GC Europe. Right, they're also a manufacturer. They manufacture a lot of the Fuji Rock. Then we have all. Oh, sorry, that sound's coming through. We have
Charge.
we own Klemma. Klemma is in Liechtenstein, Austria.
Oh wow.
And Klemma manufactures all the porcelain that
Wow.
You
Yeah,
guys are
both
a little big.
Damn.
Yeah, both GC and Creation. So, yeah, so it's amazing.
I
Yeah,
had no idea.
So is Creation a part of GC?
yeah. I mean, Creation.
That's Willie Geller, right?
Yeah. So
And they're
so GC bought Klemma years ago, and with that came obviously Creation is a
Okay.
brand of GC. Yes.
What is Creation? I don't
it's
know.
another porcelain. I was
Yeah.
listening to the last
Yeah.
speaker talk about Creation,
Yes.
and now it makes sense.
Creation is 30 years old. It's it's a
special.
ceramic that that has a cult following.
Big
all
time.
all the oral design members that you know of, those are all Creation fans, and that
Really?
Willie Geller. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So that brand is a very reputable old brand. So
30 years later, it's still relevant.
yeah.
Still works.
and GC Initial is 20 years already. It's been on the market and
And Initial that's pressable ceramic?
everything.
Is it Lacey?
Everything. So
But
initial,
Lacey's-
we have initial MC for metal ceramics. We have initial initial Lacey press. We have, everything for initial Lacey. We have initial Lacey blocks. We have initial LRF blocks. So that's almost like a lucite reinforced feldspar, right? Everything. I mean, you name it. Initial has it's a big umbrella,
Yeah.
right, of many different products that fall under it. So yeah.
I I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a pressable
No,
ceramic.
no. That's just one product under the initial umbrella. Yeah.
So what kind of courses do you have in here?
So we have,
and how often? I'm curious. Like, do you guys, broadcast that you do courses here, or is it just like a?
We're starting to. You know what happened? Like I told you, the building opened up right before COVID. So we had a couple courses. We used to do lab courses all the time, like literally almost once a week, right? And the problem is when COVID hit, a lot less people wanted to go out for courses, so we kind of stopped for a while.
Sure.
But we're trying to build that back up, and obviously now with this huge DTG symposium and everything else, we even have third-party courses here. I think ADA's had different events here.
Is ADA still here in Chicago?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's it's a great facility. I think it's something that we're trying to expand to just get people in here, learn, educate people, from all different areas.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great, and it's a beautiful facility. And you got how many benches in there? What, 25?
A ton.
30?
There was 15 people doing the gun battle challenge yesterday, and there was still room.
Yeah.
So it's got to be at least 25.
Yeah, and you got a lot of breakout rooms that are really nice done. I saw a room. Lights are off, but there was a dental chair in there. So.
Oh yeah, that's the operatory.
Sure.
We could actually have live patients, like surgeries in there.
That's
we just need to
cool.
make sure it's an Illinois certified. That the
Hornbrook
doctor
used to do his courses in Chicago.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
live patient.
Yeah.
I went to my first course, live patient course in Chicago.
Really?
So yeah.
You guys want to hear a funny story? So GC's a over 100-year-old company now, right? We recently celebrated our 100 years, and the funny thing is that when the company first started, there was three chemists that went to the University of Tokyo. So what happened was they decided that they wanted to open a business together, and they were deciding what they were going to do. And the options at the time were either they're going to do spark plugs, mayonnaise, out of all things, or dental, right? Because they had a degree in chemistry, right? They started off and they decided, okay, we're going to go with dental. The reason they named it GC at the time was because it was kind of like things were like acronyms, right? Like GE.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why they decided to do GC.
What does GC stand for?
General Chemical.
Okay. Yeah.
And so when they started the company, they started with a product called Standard Cement. And it was a complete failure. The first product.
Really?
Complete failure. It was terrible. And
it was very standard.
Well, yeah. So they took on this concept at the time, and they reflected, right, on they reflected on why this happened. At that time they're Japanese. They went to the temple, and they were
how did we fail?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they realized it's almost like they decided to take on this concept of samu. It's called samui, right? And samui is like, it's almost like the golden rule. Do unto others, that type of thing. Where and they decided, what, we did this on our own without thinking about others, what their needs are. Okay.
Yep.
So they took this concept on, and they're like, you know what? From this point on, we're going to listen to the voice of the customer and make products for the good of others versus what we think is the best for the market.
Nice.
So from that point on, that's how the whole thing took off, and it ended up being probably one, I think, top 4 largest dental companies globally. Yeah.
Wow.
And we're this close to being GC mayonnaise.
Right?
So crazy.
Isn't it? Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is funny. The DTG meeting, you kind of mentioned that they're talking about coming back in 2 years. Is that a set thing, or?
Well, I don't know. I talked to Vaughn last night, and I guess we're going to have to wait and see.
It was a bar conversation.
Yeah,
got you.
Well, no. Vaughn doesn't drink, so yeah, no. It was at my house. I got to know them so well. Like, it's funny. Like, again, I go back to relationships. I got to know, I get to know these people, and they become such close friends. It's like, yeah, guys, come on over to my house. He's staying at my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So no, we were just talking. I was like, so what do you want to do with this going forward? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. I got to reflect after this is done. I was even saying, like, maybe every year isn't the right thing to do, because every year sometimes people come when they become complacent. They don't It's
fun to move around.
Yeah, if it's too often, then people are going to be like, I'll wait till next year.
Yeah, it's fun to move it around.
So does he have the meeting every single year?
From what I know, it was every other year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think he might continue to do that, but we'll see if he does it again here or not. But I think he might.
I hope so.
Yeah,
it's a great venue.
Great
Beautiful
venue
building.
for me. Short drive, a little selfish, but it's nice.
And what's nice is that we have, obviously, we have other vendors here from different places. So we're welcoming, and everyone's welcome. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for
good job,
hosting
man.
the thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely,
having the facility was what made this happen. When Vaughn came on the podcast last, he said, if it wasn't for GC's facility, it wouldn't happen.
Oh, that's nice.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Well, of course, and you guys are always welcome back. Whenever we do anything, you guys are always welcome. So
like I said, I'm a short drive. I want to take a tour I want to go see them make stuff.
When you say you're a short drive, where do you live?
Indianapolis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's not that bad.
Hours.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's an easy day for me.
There you go.
I'd love to.
Great city,
tour.
by the way.
Yeah. Does well. Thanks, Dan.
Well, thank you.
No, thank you
Appreciate
very much.
so
I appreciate it.
Great
Thank
stuff.
All
All right, DTG Symposium 2023, and I'm on all sorts of chords. Okay.
We are moving around a little bit, so you got to forgive us.
So Dan Elfin. Dan the man
That's best.
came up to me and says, this is the guy that's got to be on the podcast. I met him at the airport. So what's your name?
He met you at the airport?
Yeah. I met Dan at the airport, and I promised to him, so I need to be here. So he said to me, and that's why I'm here. And my name is Kostia Vyshamirski.
Kostia.
Is that Polish?
No, it's from. I'm from Belarus, but I was born very close to the Poland.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm Polish. That's why
really?
I asked. Yeah.
Oh,
so you're all the way from another country and came here for the meeting?
It's my native country, but I lived in Latvia in Europe.
Wow.
Yeah, Eastern Europe, and a little bit close to Poland also. Yeah.
So how'd you become a dental technician?
My father is a dental technician, and for me it was a little bit hard decision, because he maybe not want so much to be me, to see me like a dental technician. So
he did not?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because he
because
worked night and day all night long,
of course.
no stress at all, right?
Yes. So mostly he helped me with my decision. He's talking to me. Maybe I need to go for university to be a doctor. Maybe some another profession. So I was thinking maybe like an engineer, maybe IT, maybe something else. But when I was a kid, I love a lot to make something with the hand, so like something manual. When I was in high school, I saw a lot how he's working.
So you hung out in the lab with him? Oh,
yeah.
So you got to check everything out,
Yeah.
Get your hands dirty.
Oh, yeah.
Did you play with wax?
Of course, yes.
Did you cast bugs?
Actually, I had a picture when I was like maybe 5 years old, and with a wax, with some matrix with a wax. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Funny story. But mostly when I was in high school, it was like my decision that I want to go there because I really like it. I really like to do something with my hand, and I see this profession is very, very like close to me, to my philosophy, and I really like my decision because nowadays I feel very comfort here.
So when you made your decision, did you go to work in your dad's lab or did you go elsewhere?
No. After I finished the college, I started to work by myself.
Wow.
So you went to a dental technology university?
Yeah, college.
They call it
This
uni.
is a medical
uni.
Medical college.
Yeah.
So I choose a program for 3 years to be like a dental technician. I have graduated there.
How'd you do? Was it easy for you? Because your history?
For me, it's it was I can say so easy.
Yeah.
Because the days I had some manual skills, and for me it was like an easy program to be like a dental technician.
Yeah.
And after one year after college, I moved to Latvia. So I started to work for a very good clinic with in-house lab.
Oh,
so
nice.
So you went right to work with Dennis.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Lion's
sweet.
Den.
And it was very, very amazing experience for me, because when you're working together with the dentist, you can use any equipment. So we had a lot of digital equipment. I also really like to work with refractory veneers, with layering ceramic, and I had really, really great experience working there.
And you get to see your work in the mouth,
of course,
patients. Yeah, that's.
What are you mostly doing at this point? Ceramics, or removable, or?
No. I'm mostly working with aesthetic ceramic.
Yep.
So most of the cases is zirconium, refractory veneers, or sometimes it can be like lithium disilicate.
Wow.
For some kind of cases.
So this type of meeting's right up your alley. Like, every speaker is just mind-blowing, wonderful aesthetic ceramic anterior.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So how did you find out about damaged goods and the DTG?
Yeah, it's a really interesting story, because we talked with one like 2 days ago about this kind of question, and I seen that I found damaged goods even when I was in college, so it was almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
I don't remember exactly. It was 2013 or maybe 2014, maybe like this. And so I found the group on Facebook. So I start to communicate with people. I start to post in some of my cases, some of my ceramic, wax, and different stuff.
Yep.
And so we are almost 10 years together. Connected by internet, by Facebook.
Yeah.
And my first meeting with Von, it was 2017. I visited the...
Utah?
No, it was before Utah.
Okay.
I met him in Los Angeles at Ceramic Congress.
Oh, yeah.
It was a different congress. It was HMPS by Naoki Hayashi.
Oh, yeah.
But we met with one. We know each other, and this day we wear the same shoes. Like,
oh, that's great! And like-minded shoe people.
Yes. And it was very amazing time. And next year, 2019, I was in Frankfurt with Damaged Goods Symposium, and also it was in Prova.
So they have damaged goods symposiums outside the U.S.?
It was the first one.
So it was in Germany?
Yeah, Germany, Frankfurt, 2018. Yeah.
So that was a lot closer for you to get to rather than going across the pond.
It's like direct flight, maybe 2 hours, I don't remember.
Are you a member of the DTG? Have they accepted you in?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations. When did that happen?
Thank you so much. Just, I don't remember, a few months ago.
No kidding.
Yeah.
What do you have to do?
What I have to do to be...
What do you have to do to be a member? Is that
actually, you don't know how to become a member, because for me, it works that one day I received a message from one. So, hey, man, do you want to be a member? Yes, of course.
So it's not just like Vaughn picking people. Vaughn explained it on the podcast once, where you have to participate in the affiliate group. So online, anybody can join the affiliate group, and you just have to post your work. You got to respond to other people. You got to show encouragement. You just got to grow. And a group kind of just says, like, look at the work this person's doing. Look at the growth they've done. Look how much they're participating. Will you be a member? Isn't that cool?
So you post a lot of work, eh?
Yeah, I'm trying. Actually, I'm working a lot with the photo protocols. I'm doing a lot of stuff, and I like to communicate with the people in the internet, because when I travel for some courses, symposium, I have a lot of friends all over the world, and it's really cool to communicate with everybody.
So where are you now? Do you have your own lab?
Yes. I have my own lab, but it's very, very small laboratory, so I'm working only by myself.
Oh, okay.
And right now I'm in Riga, Latvia. It's a Baltic states, Eastern Europe. So I have my laboratory with a partnership with a clinic. So we did two separate companies. So laboratory, clinic, and we work together. They are like my main and very, very good doctors. They are a couple. Yep. And also I'm working like a laboratory. So
So you can take
with
other
everybody.
clients.
Yes,
yeah.
of course. So I'm working with some clients in my country. I'm working with some clients in in Europe, and also I have not a lot, but I have requirements from US.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Some clients from US wants to send the cases, and
It's got to be a long turnaround time with shipping. Jeez.
Well, if they're digital, they
Yeah.
can send you the
Yeah.
file.
Yeah.
Yeah, digital helps me a lot because right now I'm working. I received maybe 80-90% of STL files
Yeah.
just for everything. So we are working on zirconium, lithium disilicate, and even refractory in digital right now.
Can you imagine being a one-man lab doing model work for all of those cases? There'd be no way. I'm just thinking out loud.
I
Like, if
can.
it wasn't digital, your ass would be doing model work 24 hours a day. But now with the digital, you can print the models
Yeah.
and get everything going.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have, you don't have to live in the lab. Probably what your dad
that's
was
true.
thinking, right?
That's true. But actually, I really can imagine because I did it. I did it a lot.
You poured
by
a
myself.
lot of models.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So I like that I'm the guy who started with a fully manual, and I became a digital technician like year by year. So I'm not a crazy fan of digital, but I use it only when I can trust it like 100%. So that's why I start to work with digital 7-8 years ago, but I don't use it so much. So I just use some kind of digital like milling machine. Then I start to print. Then I start to do to receive a case by doctors with the scans. And only 1 year ago I started to do refractory with the digital.
Oh,
That's
nice.
great.
Because
digital refractory.
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
do digital
So
refractory?
I'm using one of the best models for like removable models,
Yeah.
alveolar models in digital, and I have good printer, so I can do the protocol very precise and very predictable. So I'm printing the like prep dies with a spacer to duplicate it to refractory, and also the wax up dies. So
Wow.
yeah, it's but you know, sometimes I have a lot of books from the very good lectors like Pascal Manet, Michel Manet, and they had these techniques fully manual, but like 20-30 years ago.
Yeah.
So how to replace the dies, how to make the wax up on your model. So
Are you using like the foil technique on top of the printed dies?
refractory.
Oh,
Refractory
yeah.
techniques.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're firing right on the die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's very similar, but a little bit different way how to achieve the result. I mean, like
You can't fire on a printed model, can you?
Well, you got to make a refractory model.
Yeah,
You
right.
degas that,
Right.
and then you put the porcelain. That's where I started way back when. Yeah.
Jeez.
you have to duplicate your die, your printed die to refractory. die.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then
yeah.
you can start to apply your ceramic.
Interesting. So how do people in other countries find you if you're by yourself?
Just internet, Facebook, Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just have a page and dentist find it and like,
Yeah.
I want to send my work
Yeah.
all the way across the ocean to this guy.
Yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
for them, it doesn't matter where I located because they need to just send me the scans.
Sure.
And a lot of my doctors have the printer inside the clinic, so they can print my wax up. They did.
That's pretty damn
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
So you can do all of the design and everything, send them that, they print it,
Yeah.
and they're in temps.
Yeah. So it's very fast way because from when we are working on a static case, so we need a planning, we need pictures, we need a lot of planning steps like wax up, diagnostic, and all the steps we can do in digitally. We just send the files, and only one parcel, physical parcel, is my veneers. So it's
Yeah.
That's so neat.
now it's much more easy.
Yeah. That's so cool. Imagine to have clients spread out so much.
So what's your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing is the refractory veneers.
Layer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
layering.
Yeah.
Because with the refractory veneer, I can manage a lot of cases a lot of difficult aesthetic cases, because of course it's cool when you have very good prep, very good gingiva, and 6 veneers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
It's
classic.
like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah. It's a very, very good situation. But sometimes we have like one crown, one dark prep, one implant, and we need to manage how to manage this case in a very aesthetic way. Of course, we can use monolithic, we can use stains, but I actually have a lot of requirements from the doctor, from the patients, to make it not like A3, not like very dark cheese, but something like bleach or A1, but with a good enamel zone, like with incisional edge, with natural effects. So this helps me a lot to know how to layer ceramic.
Wow. Yeah. You ever think about speaking at one of these things?
Oh, about what?
What you're just talking about.
Yeah?
I mean,
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
You sound like you know what you're talking about, and you sound passionate about it. And that's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah. We should get you up on stage sometime.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So can we find you? So your Facebook page is your last name, your first name, and your Instagram as well?
Yeah.
Awesome.
The same on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check you out.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir.
Good to meet
you.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, before we lose everything,
flip this
and it all goes away.
I think he can pronounce. You can pronounce.
DTG Symposium 2023. We have the D-Wets.
Yes.
I love it. We got Michael, and what's your first name?
David.
David and Michael.
Father and son.
All the way from New Zealand.
That's correct.
So tell us, David, obviously you got Michael into this mess that we like to call dental technology. How'd you get into it?
So a military story.
Oh, nice.
I was doing military service, and I was an orderly in a hospital. And I took some specimens to the pathology lab, but next door was the dental lab. And I looked inside the door, and it just looked fascinating.
Yeah.
Interesting. It kind of had everything I needed to work with my hands and my brain and be helping people.
So was this in New Zealand?
That was in South Africa where I grew up.
Oh, South Africa.
Yep.
There's a lot of dental technicians coming out of South Africa.
There we go.
A lot of good ones.
Thank you.
We know quite a few, don't we?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Oh, well.
Is it the schools? Or?
Yeah, there were some good schools, maybe oversupply, and then global demand for good technicians.
Yeah. Excellent.
So how did you go from South Africa to New Zealand?
Well, my parents-in-law immigrated first.
Okay.
So where the grandparents go, it's a lot easier to bring up kids.
Yeah.
So we joined them
Cool.
Nice.
a year later. Yeah.
So you own a lab?
I have a lab.
You were saying 26 years now?
Yep. So
26
a year
years.
after immigrating, I bought a two-man lab, and now it's 26 people lab.
Oh, wow. It's a big lab.
So just one person a year.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race.
So the lab was established that you purchased?
Correct. It was about 2 years old.
Yeah,
at the
and
time.
what was it? Just removable, fixed?
Just fixed at the time,
Okay.
and we now have a prosthetic removal department. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Smart. So, Michael,
Yes.
you're his son, obviously. How long have you been in the lab?
Well-
and how did you know you wanted to get in the lab, first of all? Were you forced?
No, not at all. Well, so it all started when lockdown hit, and it was quite busy, so they needed my help in all the lots of little areas, putting stickers on boxes and sterilizing things. And then after I finished school, which was in 2021, I was thinking, what should I do? And then Dad said, well, you already work here, so would you like to come help in the plaster room, and we can see if we can
In
sort
the
out.
plaster room?
Yep.
Yeah, you got to
That's
start.
where we all start.
Yep, definitely.
That's great.
And then that sort of followed on from there. But I actually have a sort of side business with jewelry, and so I sort of got to use the 3Shape scanners and the printers to sort of mass produce my jewelry, which is quite cool. So I was already a little bit familiar with the.
Yeah, you've got a great
Wait
vibe.
a minute.
It's got a really cool necklace.
Did you do the jewelry before dental?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you
you were
learn-
always artistic.
So you learned 3Shape, but only to make jewelry.
Yep.
How did that work? Because I use 3Shape quite often.
Yeah.
There's not a ring button
No.
or a necklace button or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
you're manipulating some really
Yes.
weird things.
Go into the gingiva copy denture, and then you can scan in both sides of the ring, and then you kind of just skip a whole bunch of steps. And then you can, if you got a few defects or something, you can change that in like the after designing, and then it's just printing. Yeah.
So then you print and cast?
Yep. Print and cast. Yep.
Does it always want to put a tooth in there or
No,
something?
no.
When you're doing on 3Shape, like, we recommend this, you know? Or
No, I think that it actually works surprisingly well.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
And so I've manufactured levers rings for my school in my final year, which was really awesome as well. Yeah. So Dad's been very generous with lots of
investment
and
Oh, I bet.
and
sure.
printing
Yeah.
material and
Get that at a
time
discount,
on
right? Yeah.
He knows how to cast, so that's a great
Yeah.
asset to the business.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you even cast crowns anymore?
We do. We
Do
still,
you really?
Yeah, gold crowns. Occasional PFMs down to about 5% of the workflow.
Sure.
Thank God, right? My dad would always say gold is best, though.
Yeah.
You know, still.
But yeah.
What do you do most in your life? What's big in New Zealand?
We're pretty international, so it's a lot of zirconia, a lot of Emax, and probably 5 to 10% PFM, 5% gold
Yeah,
work.
that's about average, I
Yeah.
would say. It's kind of shrinking a little
Yeah.
bit, more and more every year.
Yeah.
How
So-
is the industry there? Is it strong?
It's been pretty busy after COVID.
Yeah.
We've had a little bit of a slowdown at the moment with.
That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I was telling Elvis that. We've been seeing that a lot on Facebook in the United States right now. All of a sudden, it just slowed down. I don't know if it was because of school starting or what, but it's just kind of just, you know, not like crazy slow, but slow, where you can
Maybe
feel it.
come to conferences like
Yeah.
this.
But you
exactly.
guys are on the other side of the calendar from us.
Yeah.
So why would our slow be your slow? You know,
That's
our
it.
schools are
That's
starting.
true.
Your schools are probably midway through.
Yep.
I mean, it's so strange that we're all slow at the same time.
So how'd you find out about the DTG, and how long have you been involved in the
I've been
Symposium?
affiliate for maybe 5 to 7
so
years.
you were one of the early
Yeah.
adapters, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
just got inspired and all the good work that was posted, and just fueled the passion for the job.
Yeah.
And just that sense of connection that Von talked about. Yeah.
You're still at the
Fantastic.
bench, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, mainly quality control and
Yep.
talking to dentists.
Yeah.
Delegating the work.
We know how much fun that is, right?
So what do you do in the lab? For teeth, not jewelry.
Yes. So I've just started an apprenticeship doing with Dad, and so I get to sit next to him, which is very nice, and then sort of go hop between the different departments depending on what I'm doing, which is very fun. Also, as when you're learning, it's a bit frustrating, I must say.
Yeah.
But I think that's the common thread through everyone learning is it's a lot of failure and a lot of learning. So
Sure.
yeah, so sort of at the beginning of the journey still, but definitely enjoying it.
Are you going to go to a dental technology school?
So I'm going to be doing the CDT certification.
Oh, good. Are you
Yeah.
going to do digital?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's
So good.
It's all online now
Yep.
after COVID, so that's
Yep.
sort of been something that I can do from New Zealand as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're going to be getting the American CDT.
Yep.
Oh.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the
What
use-
does New Zealand have? Does it have?
we have a
this-
university that you can come up with an undergraduate degree in dental
2
technology.
years?
3 years.
3 years? Yeah.
Is it required to be
Not they've deregistered dental technicians. So
yeah. So at one time it was registered.
Now-
What caused the deregistration?
no idea, Elvis.
Good old government. Yeah.
Going the wrong way.
Yeah. How did that hit the? When did that happen?
Oh, it's about 10 years back, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
did
been
that-
a wee while.
Did anybody try to fight that? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, it just kind of sneaked in under the radar, and
And all of a sudden everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
yeah.
Did it make it easier to hire people?
Yes and no. You've got
Yeah.
to have the skills, so it doesn't put any regulatory barriers in the way.
Interesting.
But yeah,
You know, here in America, it's just free reign here. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, it's cool for us because we talk to so many
Yeah.
people from outside America, and just the differences or
Hmm.
the similarities between certification or laws or what have you. It's kind of eye-opening, if you
Yeah.
will.
be interesting to see exactly like who decided why you would deregulate something. It's,
yeah,
I guess, it's taking too many resources or something. I don't know.
yeah.
So this meeting, is this your first, or have you come? So you said you knew who the DTG was and the affiliates, but so you've been to meetings physically? Because this is my first. Oh,
I'm first too.
It's a long damn way to come.
It is, but it's really worth it.
Yeah, it's been a really great day.
How long of a flight is it?
15 hours.
Ah, it's nothing. Nothing.
Wow.
Are you going to enjoy Chicago when you're here?
Yeah, we've had 4 days to roam the city already.
Nice.
Bet you'll love it.
Nice.
Chicago's
Great
the bomb,
city.
man.
Especially in summer.
You haven't got mugged yet, so that's good.
Lovely city.
Sounds like they're starting behind us, so we're like sitting right here, and you can see all this stuff.
Yeah.
What about the gum competition? Do you guys do any of the composite, the pink composite?
Yep, on some of the hybrids.
Really?
Yep. So
I'm looking forward to that. I've never
That's
seen
going to be awesome.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you competing?
Not this time.
No, next time? Nice. Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
we
great to be here.
appreciate you.
Thank you, Elvis.
Thanks for coming all the way from New Zealand.
Yeah.
And listening to the podcast
Yeah.
and bringing your son along, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll stay in it your whole life. Are you going to keep doing the jewelry as well on the
Of
side?
course, yeah.
So you just
that
kind of
won't
have
stop,
both
but
of the best of the both worlds?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I think it's fascinating you do jewelry with 3-shape. I'd love to see a video on how you do that.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
I-
actually
honestly-
very
Oh, I can send you through something.
Yeah, because I can't imagine I'm doing designs in my head. I can't imagine what I'm picking to do jewelry.
Yeah.
It's so
pretty
fascinating.
smart.
And can I just say thanks to Elvis and Bob for the great podcast and the hours of work you put in
come on.
between.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it means a lot to the community and to the global community. So thank you, guys.
Thank you as
We
well.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
Enjoy the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
guys.
Bye.
A big thanks to Dan, Kostia, David, and Michael for sitting down with us at the DTG Symposium. And a huge double thanks to Dan and everybody at GC for opening up their beautiful facility for all of us to use and enjoy that weekend. It was pretty awesome. It was like a stadium. And Elvis and I got to sit up and look at everybody and watch everything. It was really amazing.
We had prime balcony seats.
We did, man. Seriously. We can't wait for the next event. We will probably see Kostia on stage talking about all the amazing things he's doing in Latvia. And as everybody knows, Lab Family is very dear to me, and seeing a father and son working and growing together just melts my heart, which I really like his fashion, though. He's pretty sweet. What a great, memorable trip for a father and son technicians to take, visiting America and getting to attend the symposium. Pretty sweet.
All right, everybody. That's all we got for you. And we shall talk to you next week.
We're going to do this on Friday next week. Have a good one.
Hell yeah. Bye.
Yeah, I don't think you could do that again, but
I'm not going to.